Right, I think we are live right now. Are we live right now? Let's just check to double sure that we are live. Let's see. Yep, we are live right now. So, without further ado, let's start in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yo guys, Blues Not here, and welcome back to another Periscope stream. Oh, not a Periscope stream, I'm sorry. A YouTube stream, that is, of a special edition of Match Preview. And I usually never tends to do this a lot on my YouTube channel. And I think this is the first time I actually did a match review that involved with the Quakes on a YouTube live stream. But, you know, if I going to do a live stream like this, you know it's obviously a big kind of game that is coming up. Now, of course, we're not playing against LA this weekend, but instead we are playing against Houston Dynamos in probably one of, if not the biggest game of the season. Okay, I'm sorry, I just kind of like said that cliche over and over again every single week, but I can't stop myself. I always feel like every single game from now on is an absolute must-win game, and it is. I mean, you know, this last 6 game, I've been saying it in my last review, or my last preview, that this game is pretty much the beginning of stretch of what would be pretty much the final kind of stretch of the kind of final moment of truth for the Quakes, whether or not if we're gonna be making the playoffs or not, whether or not we can salvage anything from the end of the season. Now, before I actually talk about this game, I just want to get a very quick kind of review of what happened in the last game, because when I did my Periscope stream last week, I didn't really do kind of like a match review. I did kind of like more of an end of season review. I was talking about what the team should do in the off season and what can they improve the squad. And I didn't really talk about the match against Toronto. And to be fair, I don't really need to say anything else about that match against Toronto. It was absolutely horrendous. And it was also very predictable, the fact that we were going to get absolutely demolished by Toronto. I mean, Toronto, as I said before, they are the Real Madrid of the MLS. They are just crushing everybody as the season goes on, and it is not a big surprise, the fact that we just got absolutely demolished. And also the game was on the road. So what did you expect? You thought the Quakes was going to just somehow pull an absolute miracle at BMO Field and somehow get a draw or a win, or somehow we're gonna hand Toronto their first loss at home, when other teams that is much better from us, teams like NYCFC, teams like Atlanta United, that comes to Toronto and they have only salvaged either a loss or a draw in those games against Toronto on the road. So it was always going to be expected that we were going to lose that game. I mean, I was trying to be at least a little bit optimistic. Obviously, in terms of how the game went overall, I mean, you know, I feel like the first half we actually looked pretty decent, but the second half was the big problem, because I've been saying it so many times with this team, and I hope this has to be fixed. We need to stop after we concede like the first or second goal. We need to have a stronger mentality, because the mentality level of this team after they concede their first or second goal is so weak right now that it's almost like after we concede the first goal and the second goal, it's game over. I mean, it is, you know, we know that we're going to lose that game because the team just doesn't have that mentality level to try to regroup, trying to rally the troops, trying to, you know, at least get something out of it. Maybe loss that is not like just an absolute demolition, and it will definitely help a little bit in our goal differential. And speaking of goal differential, boy, right now, I'll tell you what, our goal differential is so bad right now that it's pretty much shocking, the fact that we're still in the playoff race. I mean, I think we have like a minus 17 goal differential, and that is obviously gonna hurt us a little bit coming into this final couple of months, because let's say if we're gonna be like, if we tie with a team that is kind of like just above us of the red line, well, guess what? Guess who is going to be making the playoffs? It will be the team that is currently above the red line, because they definitely have a better goal differential than us. And I think we have like the second worst goal differential in the Western Conference. So, you know, for us, a tie with other team does not make us go to the playoffs. We will be out of the playoffs if we actually tie against some teams above some teams that we of course tie in that kind of red line borderline. So yeah, obviously this is what I tell you how this is gonna definitely one of the things that I was really worried. Well, this is something that I usually don't talk about it, but the goal differential with the way how we just keep losing by a big margin on the road, it was going to hurt our goal differential a lot. And I think, I'm just really hoping that by the end of the season, it doesn't come back and haunt us. The fact that we might tie a team like Houston or Dallas for that final playoff spot, and that they'll be the one that be making the playoffs, and we won't be the one because we have a worse goal differential than they have. I mean, by a mile, we have a worse goal differential than Houston, Dallas, and all the other team that is above us in the standings. But, you know, going back to what I said about the game against Toronto, like I said, 4-0, it was an absolute demolish. The team, you know, just completely collapsed. And then, of course, as usual, it's pretty typical nowadays, but there's always tends to be a sending off on the roll. I mean, this is another thing that I haven't mentioned a lot, but why in the world? It feels like lately the Quakes have always got a man send off and never finish a game with 11 men on the field. And this time it was Darwin Surin that did his best impression to try to, you know, get himself sent off and try not to finish the game with 11v11. And yeah, you know what, to be fair, I don't really, you know, whenever Darwin Surin gets sent off, nobody is surprised because, yeah, you know what happened in the Gold Cup. You know how the biting incident happened. I don't need to explain more about that, but, you know, now let's actually talk about this actual game. And, you know, as much as I've been saying that, you know, we are in this kind of playoff hunt and that, you know, we have a very good opportunity to make the playoffs for the first time since 2012. I gotta say, we have been really, really lucky to be in this position. And I know in the last, well, not the last review, but the one against the Galaxy in the Cali Classico review, I have some people that say that I'm not a true fan because, you know, I written this team off because even though we had like about 6 or 7 weeks before the end of the season, and the fact that, you know, anything can happen. Well, yes, obviously I feel like, you know, obviously I made the team definitely proved me wrong, the fact that they of course are still in the playoff hunt. But the thing that I will make an argument about those claim that saying that I'm not a true fan, and the fact that, you know, I written this team off with 8 weeks ago. I mean, you just look at if you look at how it's been, right? You know, when in that game against RSL, you know, a team that we should have clearly beat, you know, the fact that we got absolutely stormed by that, and the fact that we just tend to do that is something that we always tend to do on the road, and I just didn't feel like I had any hope the fact that the team was going to be making the playoffs. And also, the other thing is that the team above us seems like the team like Dallas and Houston, they look like they don't want to be in the playoffs either. I mean, right now, they are literally giving us a couple of they just keep giving us golden opportunity to try to come back in the playoffs on. They are dropping points like crazy. They're dropping points like kind of like Christmas present for us to try to get back into the playoff hunt. So in many ways, I just feel like we've been very lucky. Okay, I feel like if they didn't keep dropping points like they have been doing for the last couple of weeks, you know, we would not even be thinking about making the playoffs. We wouldn't be even in this playoff hunt. And also, AL, welcome to the stream. How are you doing today? But yeah, let's go now actually talk about this game. And of course, this brings us to pretty much this game against Houston. And one, I put in the title that this is an absolute must-win game. I mean, this is the second opportunity for us to win against a potential playoff rival, well, not playoff rival, but potentially a team that is going to be fighting out for that final couple of spots in the playoff hunt. I love your views specifically about soccer. Oh, thank you for that, AL. And also make sure you guys and you check out my match vlog that I also do when I do my match. I'm gonna definitely do a match vlog on this, so make sure you guys check that out. I'll probably upload that late in the Saturday evening because, you know, when is the next home game? It's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. We are playing against the Houston Dynamos, and yes, as I said in the last preview, I am making a comeback in the match vlog. I mean, I don't even know I should call it a comeback because, listen, you know, lately the Quakes has been on the road for so much. Like, there has been very few home games lately. I think there's only been one home game in the last 6 weeks, and that was the one I didn't go because I literally just got back from vacation, and I felt absolutely exhausted to go to it, and I, of course, watch it on TV. But, you know, obviously I'm making a comeback, and the hiatus status on my match vlog is now completely off, and we are back into this game. And yeah, I mean, obviously, actually, let me go back to the match preview itself. I'm kind of getting a little bit off topic about the match vlog, but going back to this game against Houston, like I said, this is our second opportunity to try to get a win against a team that is going to be our rival for the playoff race, and, you know, this game should be winnable, okay? You know, Houston lately has been just really poor. I mean, the last game they played, they were at home, and I think they lost like their first home game, and who would have thought that their first home loss of the season will be against the Colorado Rapids, the worst team in the Western Conference, and they couldn't even get a draw out of that. I mean, their confidence level coming into this game must be absolutely shattered, and it also doesn't help the fact that Houston, just like the Quakes, are absolutely garbage on the road. So there is absolutely no excuse the fact that we can't get a win with this, with the fact that Houston coming into this game with not a lot of confidence, and the fact that, you know, they also are facing a lot of adversity back at home with Hurricane Harvey. And also, by the way, I'm going to say it again, I give all my condolence and to all the family that is suffering from that Hurricane Harvey incident. You know, my thoughts to every one of those people that is currently, you know, just trying to get shelters for that. It was just an absolute nasty kind of hurricane. And also want to give my condolence to the other Hurricane Irma, and all those people that is suffering from that. But obviously, coming into this game, this is a really good opportunity for us to try and take advantage of very kind of damaging Houston team right now. Now, having said that, also, Axel H Vlog, welcome to the stream. But having said that, you know, lately, when we play against Houston, we have not looked very well at all. In fact, I feel like Houston has been kind of a nemesis for us lately. I mean, I remember we used to always beat Houston, but the problem is, right, you look at this season when we played them already twice on the road, we have lost to them 3-0 and 2-0. And then if you go back to last year, in some of the home games, the last two time when we play Houston at home, we actually lost to them. We lost 2-0 to them both time at home in the last 2 seasons. So this is a team that we don't have a good history against recently. But having said that, like I said many times, you know, there's just, with this team just coming into this game with such a low confidence level, and the fact that this team just cannot win on the road, there's just absolutely no excuse the fact that we're going to get a draw or a win. If you get a critical, does not mean you hate him. Well, to be fair, you know, I know I'm gonna definitely get some haters that say that I'm not a real fan, and the fact that that there's gonna be some haters that's gonna say that, you know, you being too harsh on some of the players. But guess what? This is my opinion on how it is. I have the right to address my opinion. My opinion might be different from any other Quakes fan or any other people that say that, and I'm a person that has the right to, you know, respect and disrespect other people's opinion of what I think it is. And, you know, at the end of the day, you know, I have my way of thinking at this, and if you disagree with my opinion, then go ahead, fine. You can say you can disagree with my opinion, you can agree with my opinion, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna be like one of those kind of deluded fans that say that the Quakes are gonna be making the playoff very easily and that we're gonna win the MLS Cup. I'm trying to, like, my opinion usually is trying to keep it as real as possible and see the situation it is, but, yeah. What's the best bar to watch? I actually don't watch games at a bar, mainly because I'm not old enough to go to a bar. I mean, I think it's like 21 that you have to go to be the age limit to go to a bar. I usually just watch it at home, watch it on my computer where I have like the streams and stuff like that. But yeah, but anyway, going back to this game again. Like I said, it's an absolute must-win game, but at the same time, one of the things that we're gonna have to watch out coming into this game is that we got to watch out for the counter-attack of Houston, and we got to try to limit their damage in the wing position, because I think one of the things that I've seen Houston play, one of the things that I've seen Houston have done in the last couple of games, and even doing this season, is that they tend to love to play out in the wing area. They tend to like to stretch teams out, and the reason why they like to do that is because they have two of the fastest winger in the game. They of course have Albert Elise and Kyoto, and they also have a very deadly striker that can finish chances, that is Cupo Torres. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to do, in a way, we gotta have to trying to limit the damage on the wing area. We got to kind of like shut down those kind of runs in the wing area. They were really gonna cause a lot of trouble on us if we don't contain them, and I think that was the issue for the last two games when we played them. We didn't do a good job trying to shut down those kind of run on the wing area, and then Kyoto and Elise was just kind of like running riots on us in the wing area. So that's one thing that we're gonna have to do it. Houston stole the San Jose Earthquakes franchise. Yep, I know the history of the team. They of course stole, and that's kind of like the rivalry factor with this. I mean, I think that's also one of the reason why, if you ask any other Quakes fan what are like their second most hated team, well, they say it's Houston, because they stole the franchise from us. I will still say that the Galaxy are kind of like our main rival, because the SoCal versus NorCal thing. But if you ask any other Quakes fan who are like the most hated team, well, of course it's Houston, because they stole our team. And yeah, I mean, but going back to this, like I said about the wing situation, we need to shut them down. And actually, I'm gonna go straight into the starting 11 right now. I'm gonna talk a little bit about that, and I gotta say, this is probably the most difficult starting 11 that I have to choose out of all my match preview that I've done with the Quakes, mainly because I actually don't know exactly what actually fits for us. I mean, it doesn't feel like it feels like every formation that we've been used have clearly not worked at all. I mean, the 3-5-2 clearly doesn't work for us. We clearly don't have the personality to do it. In the last game when we did the 4-3-2-1, it didn't look good at all. Well, actually, it did look good in the first half, but the second half, it didn't look that good either. The 4-3-3 also has been kind of inconsistent lately, and also the 4-4-2 is just like going back to the Dominic Kinnear kind of formation, and a lot of Quakes fans would not want to see the 4-4-2 kind of Dominic Kinnear style of play with the team. We fired that guy for a reason. We fired that guy just to get rid of this kind of negative football that we have seen with this team. So it's like there's really no good formation that I can pick for this team. And you also look at the teams that we have. Like, if I have to go 4 at the back right now, I'm going to have to at least put 2 fullback. And let me just say that right now with this team, I don't even know if we actually, we don't actually have like 2 fullback. The only legitimate fullback that is good for us is Nick Lima. And I still don't even know if Nick Lima is coming back to the starting 11. I mean, I read a source saying that he would probably come back from this lineup. To be fair, I feel like he needs to come back for this. I mean, I don't care if he's not 100% healthy and stuff like that. A 50% healthy Lima is a miles better than any other fullbacks that we have right now. And I'm talking to you, Sarkodie. I mean, you are absolutely done. You play MLS Fantasy? No, I don't play fantasy. I'm not really a fan into fantasy and stuff like that. I just love to like watch the game and stuff like that. And I'll answer your question about what's my European team at the end of the video, but I kind of want to stay a little bit on topic with the starting 11. And like I said, there's really not any starting 11 that I really want to like choose, and there's really no good formation that we have. But because of the fact that I just feel like, you know, for me, I have to pick my poison. Should I go with the 3-5-2, which, you know, we clearly don't have the personality to do it? Or do we go at the formation that has 4 at the back, and potentially I'm going to have to put Sarkodie in the starting lineup? And for me, I'm going to say 3-5-2. I'm just going to pick that as the poison. I know it hasn't gone well so far, but, you know, I just don't want to see Sarkodie ever again in this team. I mean, I've been saying it a couple of times. There are 3 guys, well, there's actually 4 guys that is clearly does not belong in the starting 11, and these are the guys that will, I really hope, never be in the starting 11 and in the team sheet. And that is Victor Bernardes, Sarkodie, Dawkins, and also Cato. Yep, those are the 4 guys that I wish will never be in the starting 11. So, without further ado, I'm going to do the 3-5-2 formation. And then, of course, in goal, it's going to be Andrew Tarbell. I was very surprised that Tarbell actually won the Save of the Week award. I mean, I don't remember how a goalkeeper can win Save of the Week award after conceding 4 goals in that game. I mean, that is just, it's kind of weird, but at the same time, I'm going to keep Tarbell in this because, you know, we don't have a good goalkeeper. And I'm just putting Tarbell in because he won the Save of the Week. I mean, David Bingham is not gonna improve our goalkeeper situation. He also is pretty shit. Of course, in terms of the 3 at the back, I'm gonna say it's gonna be Youngworth, Imperiale, and Alache. And then, of course, going up in the wing back, it's gonna be Lima, and also on the right wing back, it's gonna be Salinas. In the holding midfielder, I am actually going to be saying I'm gonna go with Hika, not Godoy, but Thompson, and also you, okay? Because Seren is suspended for this game, so I have to go with Jackson Yu. Well, to be fair, I wouldn't pick Darwin Seren in this game either way if he, of course, is not suspended for this game and didn't get the red card. Yeah, the Tarbell double save. I was about to do my review for that game, and I actually didn't watch that double save, but now that I actually watch it, yeah, that looked like it was gonna be kind of a save of the week. But it's kind of weird that you win save of the week, but you concede 4 goals at the same time. I don't think any goalkeeper this season that have won the save of the week award have conceded 4 goals and still get save of the week. But either way, now moving on, of course, to the 2 striker. Oh, actually, no. Let me change the midfield, the situation a little bit. Instead of it's going to be you, I'm going to move Thompson on the right and going to put Voko there, kind of like as a central attacking mid. And I'm actually maybe put you in favor of Hika because I know for a fact that Chris Leach, I don't get why he doesn't put Hika in the squad anymore. Like, it feels like ever since we changed manager, Hika has been featured less and less for this team, and I don't know what's going on with that. It certainly felt like when he did come off the bench, he doesn't have like that same impact when he's playing in the starting 11. So, I don't understand why he always is coming off the bench. But coming into the 2 striker up front, the 2 number 9, it's going to be Danny Houston and Chris Wondolowski. And then, of course, for the prediction of this game, like I said, oh, excuse me there. Like I said, it's an absolute must win, okay? And I am going to go with a 2-1 win for this one because I know for a fact that, it's going to be, I just have a feeling we're not going to keep a clean sheet. I mean, it's very rare nowadays that the Quakes can keep a clean sheet, even rarer than when we used to be when we keep keeping clean sheet, but at the same time we were playing really, really badly. But yeah, I'm going to say we're going to win it by the final score of 2-1. And now I'm going to go back to your question about what's my favorite European team. It's Chelsea. If you look on my YouTube channel, I do all match review and preview about Chelsea. And yeah, I mean, make sure you also check it out. I think I'm also going to be doing, well, I actually did this last night, but I'm going to edit tonight on the match preview between Chelsea and Arsenal. And you should definitely watch this one because, whenever it's Chelsea versus Arsenal, you know how my most hated team is Arsenal. Whenever well, whenever Chelsea have to play against Arsenal and we face like my most hated team, I'm always very up for that game. So yeah, make sure you guys check out my match preview, which is the UEFA Champions League fantasy app. Again, I don't use fantasy, so I'm not very kind of familiar with that. The 4-goal is on the defense fall. Well, like I said, our defense so far is just, it's really bad. Like, that is, like I said last review of how we really need some reinforcement in terms of our defense. I know next year we'll probably get Howard Cummins, and it will be kind of interesting to see how good he is, because, you know, this is a guy that of course signed with us, and I know a lot of people don't even remember that we actually signed Howard Cummins. I mean, it feels, since he of course have never featured with the Quakes, people clearly forgot that we actually signed this guy, and it will be interesting to see if he of course can do well with us. But I think we might need another center back. I know for a fact that Victor Bernardes, he is clearly done in the starting 11. There is just no way in the world we can put Victor Bernardes in the starting 11. He looked like he is about to retire. Okay, he does not look like the same Victor Bernardes for in the last couple of years when he was very dominant in that center back position. So yeah, that is gonna be good. Yeah, but anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you do, make sure you, or not review, preview that is it. But if you do, make sure you guys leave a like, click the subscribe button, and make sure you guys leave a comment. What do you think the prediction and the starting 11 will be for this game? And yeah, I will see you guys later, and I will see you guys in the match vlog that I will be doing. And here's a hint: it might get very emotional, guys. The match vlog that I'm gonna go, the game that I'm gonna go tomorrow, it can get very, very emotional. So make sure you guys watch that. Make sure you guys also leave a like on that video. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.